Everyone knows that representing your country in the Olympics is any athlete's dream. And for a rookie who's an example of hard work and unprecedented skill, it's no different. Caitlyn Clark, the women's basketball sensation, recently addressed her absence from the Paris 2024 Olympics, revealing a maturity and determination beyond her years.
I think the break's definitely been good. I mean, it's certainly cool. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you're only going to ever get in 4 years. So I wouldn't say I'm necessarily bummed. I think it gives you something to work for sure, and something to dream of. And
this resilient attitude is exactly what makes Clark an exceptional athlete. Cheryl Reeves' decision to exclude the rookie from the Olympic team becomes even more questionable when we analyze the performance of some veterans. Diana Taurasi, in particular, has been the target of criticism after her performance in the game against Belgium. In 14 minutes on the court, Taurasi recorded no points, rebounds, assists, steals, or blocks. Instead, she committed 2 turnovers and 2 fouls. This performance not only hurts the team, but also raises questions about the selection strategy based on reputation rather than current form. The inclusion of players like Chelsea Gray and Brittany Griner has also been questioned. Both, despite their past achievements, are not playing at a level that justifies their positions on the Olympic team. Meanwhile, Clark continues to impress in the WNBA, breaking several records in her first season and demonstrating her ability to elevate her entire team's level of play. Clark's absence is not just a technical loss for the team, but also a significant blow in terms of marketing and public engagement. Clark has been a ratings phenomenon in the WNBA, drawing record crowds and significantly increasing interest in women's basketball. Her ability to create spectacular plays and her charismatic personality are exactly what the U.S. Olympic team needs to reconnect with fans and inspire the next generation of players. The pressure on the U.S. Olympic team is high. With Clark's exclusion, the team has not only lost a talented player, but also put itself under a microscope of public scrutiny. Every mistake, every close game, is now analyzed from the perspective of, what if Clark were here? This additional pressure is evident in Cheryl Reeves' behavior, who seems visibly nervous when the team faces difficulties on the court. The game against Belgium was a clear example of this. Despite the 87-74 victory, the team's performance was inconsistent and raised more questions than answers. The over-reliance on Breanna Stewart and Wilson was evident, with the two combining for 49 of the team's 87 points. This lack of depth and versatility in the offense is exactly where Clark's presence could make a difference. Moreover, the team's selection seems to have been influenced more by politics and reputation than by current merit. The inclusion of players who didn't participate in training camps or are not in their best physical shape raises serious questions about the selection process. Meanwhile, rising players like Clark, who could bring new energy and unique skills to the team, were left out. This situation not only affects the team's current performance, but may also have long-term implications for the U.S. women's basketball program. Excluding emerging talents in favor of veterans may discourage young players and potentially weaken future Olympic teams. It's a delicate balance between honoring experience and embracing the future, and it seems that in this case, the scale may have tipped too far to one side. The impact of Caitlyn Clark's absence goes beyond the court, directly reflected in the viewership numbers and ticket sales for women's Olympic basketball games. The data is alarming. While previous games attracted up to 11.4 million viewers, the current audience has dropped to just 3 million. This drastic fall cannot be ignored and raises questions about the current team's appeal. Ticket sales have also taken a significant hit. The game against Japan, for example, drew only 13,000 spectators, a considerably smaller number compared to other games that easily exceeded the 20,000 mark. Even more concerning is the difficulty in selling tickets for the game against Germany, with tickets being offered for a mere €24 without assigned seats. This scenario contrasts sharply with the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon in the WNBA. Her games consistently attract record crowds, often surpassing the viewership of some NBA games. Clark's ability to captivate the audience and generate interest in women's basketball is undeniable. Her absence at the Olympics represents a missed opportunity not just for the team, but for the visibility of women's basketball on a global scale. Clark's absence also negatively impacts sponsors and TV broadcasts. With lower viewership and less public engagement, the commercial value of the games decreases, potentially affecting future sponsorship and broadcasting deals. This ripple effect could have long-term consequences for the funding and development of women's basketball in the United States. The controversy surrounding Caitlyn Clark's exclusion from the Olympic team gained even more prominence with Dawn Staley's recent statements. Staley suggested that if the selection were made today, Clark would likely be included. This statement not only validates Clark's exceptional performance in the WNBA, but also sheds light on the dynamic and sometimes unpredictable nature of the Olympic selection process. Meanwhile, fans' eagerness to see Clark back on the court after the Olympics is immense. Her absence has created a vacuum in the women's basketball scene that even the Olympic spotlight hasn't been able to fill. NBA games featuring Clark will continue to attract massive attention, with tickets selling out quickly and TV broadcasts hitting peak viewership. This situation puts additional pressure on the Olympic Selection Committee for the next games. The expectation is that Clark will not only maintain her current level, but continue to elevate the standard of women's basketball, making her inclusion in the next Olympic team not just desirable, but practically inevitable. During the Olympic break, Caitlyn Clark isn't wasting a second. While many of her league colleagues are competing in Paris, Clark is using this time to further improve her already impressive game. The Indiana Fever gym has been her second home. Private conversations with Coach Christy Sides have been a highlight of this training period. The relationship between coach and player is strengthening, creating a solid foundation for the team's future success. But it's not all hard work and tactical sessions. Clark has been actively participating in more relaxed moments with the team, including playful moments during practices. These light moments not only relieve pressure, but also strengthen the bonds between players. Clark, known for her competitive intensity, shows a more playful side on these occasions, laughing and teasing her teammates in a friendly manner. This dynamic is creating team chemistry that will be crucial for the Fever's success in the second half of the season. With all this focused work and the positive atmosphere being cultivated, the prospects for the Indiana Fever in the second half of the season are extremely promising. The team seems to be in a position to make a strong run for the playoffs, with Clark leading the way. The difficulties and controversies from the start of the season seem to be firmly in the rearview mirror. Now, with Clark more comfortable in her role and the team rallying around her, we can expect to see only high-level basketball from the Fever. Meanwhile, fans have a crucial role to play. Their continued support for Clark and women's basketball in general is vital for the growth of the sport. Watching WNBA games and engaging on social media are tangible ways to show that the public values not just established stars, but also rising talents. We want to hear your opinion. Do you believe Caitlyn Clark's exclusion was a mistake? How do you think her presence could have impacted the Olympic team's performance? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more analysis and updates on the WNBA and the world of women's basketball. Until the next video.